Welcome. In today's video, we are going to create this awesome visual. You can see that we have side-by-side African map. One shows us categories where we have computer and mobile phones, and the other one shows us a range of values, which is saturation, right? So a color gradient from red to green. Green shows us that there are a high number of YouTube subscribers, and then the red shows us that there are few number of YouTube subscribers. First, let's load our data set. Our data set has countries in Africa, number of YouTube subscribers for each country, Facebook followers for each country, Instagram followers, and preferred login device. So let's load it. So we have our data set. This table here has the country. Now, when we select country, ideally we are supposed to have a map, either a shape map or a field map. So we just select shape map. Now, this current map is United States map. We need Africa map. How do we get Africa map? So we go to map setting and see if Africa map is one of the options we have. So click map settings, type of map, you see United States. We have different maps. Unfortunately, Africa map is not one of the maps we have here. So we just go to custom map. Now there is a file which I'm going to attach into this video. You can get that file and then you use it for this visual. So I will browse. This is a JSON file. It's a file that contains description of Africa map. You can see the map we have now is Africa map. So with this map, what do we want to show on the map? We want to show the two categories: preferred login devices, which is either mobile phone or computer. So you can see we have the legend, computer and mobile phone. So let's arrange the legend. Select here, go to legend, change it. I want it in the bottom center. So select bottom center, you can see it. And we can increase the font size. I want mine to be 12. And we have it. So this is good. We can also work on the title. Go to general, go to title. And instead of country, now this country and preferred device, it looks okay. So we can leave it. Now the next thing is to show the two categories. You can see we have computer, the blue color, and then the navy blue is the mobile phone. But the countries do not have these different shades. Why? Because we have color saturation, which we are supposed to drag preferred device to the color saturation, and that's when we have the two different colors. The dark color shows that the countries predominantly make use of mobile phones to view our page, while the light color shows that predominantly they make use of computers. This is not an actual data set, it's just for the purpose of illustration. So the next thing is to create an augmenting visual. An augmenting visual is a different visual that will link to this map to give us better information. For instance, I can use a donut chart or a pie chart to support this visual. Let's see how we can do it. So click on the white space, and then I'll click donut chart. So I have it, we just drag it, and we'll just bring it somewhere close to our map. Right, so this is the trick. We are going to have the visual to have similar color coding, but of course there are different visuals to just support the map. So this is what we're going to do. We select preferred devices, and we also drag preferred devices to values here, and then we have it. So let me do some adjustment to make it look better. First, I don't want to have the title, so we can just remove the title. Even the legend, don't want it, so we can just remove the legend. Yes, and then, so where we have detail labels, we can change this to show only percentage of total, and the value, We increase the font size. Let me just make it like 16. I think 16 is too big. Let me make it 14. So we can see the percentages, right? So this is a different visual. Likewise this, but you can see they support each other. You can easily see the countries that have the blue are fewer based on percentage, and then you can see very beautiful. Now let's see how we can represent numeric data on similar visual. We can copy this map easily. We just copy this map and paste it again. So copy visual and we paste it. You can drag it to this side. So that will save us from having to import the map again. And now that we've copied the map, we want to show you a different thing on the map. So instead of preferred devices, we want to see our YouTube subscribers. Now, if you observe something, you see that this is showing us saturation, while the other one is category. So we don't have legend for this. But what this visual is showing us is that the more YouTube followers in the country, the deeper the shade of the color will be. Now let's see how we can customize this a little. So to customize it, we just go to Style, Other Fill Colors. We can change the color. Here we are not using gradient, we are using minimum and maximum, so a range, right? So I can select, I will say this is for minimum and this is for maximum, right? So you can see if the colors do not contrast, it's not going to give us what we are looking for, right? So it's good for the colors to contrast. But even more, we can select this, we can put off this and use a gradient which has 3 colors: minimum, center, and maximum. Right, so if I'm using the traffic light, which is a common visual I can use, I can see, okay, the minimum should be red. So we select red. The center should be yellow, so we can go for an actual yellow shade here. And then the maximum should be green. That's the traffic light colors, having 3 distinct colors. So we can put it here. Right, so we can now see. So where we see that the colors are somehow reddish, shows that we have very few YouTube followers in those countries. And then those that will have orange is somewhere in the middle, and then yellow is, in the middle. But when we get to greenish colors, the countries that have greenish colors are countries that have a very high number of YouTube followers. You can see, so we're just using the traffic light to have our gradient color. Now, let's augment this visual as well. Now, for this, you can see we can use card to show us the minimum and the maximum. So to do that, we just click outside, select card, adjust it to a suitable size. We drop it here, and we select number of YouTube followers. So you can see, so sum of number of YouTube followers is 1 million, right? So we can also change it. Instead of sum of YouTube followers, which is 1 million, we can change it to show us the minimum. So we have the minimum, right? And we can also bring in another card to show the maximum. So we just click and then we adjust it as well to almost the same size. This time around, we want to see the maximum number of YouTube followers. So we select here and we select maximum. So our visual is showing us number of YouTube followers based on the gradient. And then even more interesting, we can see the country with the minimum YouTube followers, and then the country with the maximum YouTube followers in a single entity, right? So we can also edit our headers or title. We select here and we go to general. For title now, you can, instead of count or percentage by, so we can just see preferred device by, so you can say preferred device by country instead of preferred device, say preferred device by country. You can make it center, change it to 20. So it looks good. Can do similar thing for this instead of sum of YouTube. Also, we can see sum of YouTube subscribers by country. I think this looks okay already. So we can make it 20 and we can also centralize it. Beautiful. So you can see how we can manipulate these maps and then create some interesting supporting visuals to help it. I hope you enjoyed this video.